Welcome to the Robotics Through Science Fiction podcast. The kids are out of school, the days are long and hot, so it's the perfect time to pop in a movie where a robot is the main character and stay up a wee bit late. I'm Robin Murphy, and in this podcast I'll explore 8G or PG rated robot movies with teachable moments that the little ones might enjoy as well as the parents. The first 6 movies are in the order of recommendation, with an additional 2 movies not to waste your time or brain cells on. 4 of the movies, WALLE, Big Hero 6, Short Circuit, Batteries Not Included, are excellent examples of different robot design or morphology, ranging from tracks to legs to aerial propulsion. 3 of the movies, The Iron Giant, Bicentennial Man, Short Circuit, also provide insights into morality and ethics. And a bonus round of 2 more kids' movies that just don't make the grade. Even if you don't have kids, it may be worth grabbing an umbrella drink and enjoying these great movies. So let's get started. WALLE, 2008, rated G. If you watch only one kids' robot movie, you can't do better than WALLE. There's a reason why it won an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature Film of the Year. It's really that good. WALLE has a realistic physical design. Can you say morphology? Good. For a realistic job compacting trash, and of course it has curiosity and a heart of gold. So, recommendation, forget the kids, watch it again yourself, and appreciate WALLE's design. Big Hero 6, 2014, and it's rated PG. It is just simply impossible not to love Baymax, the inflatable marshmallow of a robot who saves the human hero of the story, named Hero, pun intended by the writers. And surprise, unlike the comic book version, the physical design of Baymax in the movie is just as realistic as WALLE. Baymax represents advances in the field of soft robotics. Search the web for articles on Dr. Chris Atkinson at Carnegie Mellon, who advised Disney, and see more about how to build Baymax and things like that. So, recommendation, pair this with WALLE and discuss with the kids about robot morphology and general design. 1999, The Iron Giant. The Iron Giant's a bit more pensive and lyrical than standard kids' movies, which may not be surprising since it was written by Ted Hughes. Yes, the famous British poet Ted Hughes, who was the married to Sylvia Plath Ted Hughes. Plus, it's set during the paranoia of the Cold War. But The Iron Giant is definitely not a downer of a movie. It was the directorial debut of Brad Bird before he did Ratatouille and The Incredibles. He's created a movie where an alien robot who crashes to Earth and may have forgotten its mission learns that it can be whatever it wants to be. The movie is an illustration of the 2 ways philosophers believe agents become moral, ethical beings. One is consequentialism, a reasoning about consequences, and the other is virtue ethics, a developing good character through examples of virtue and reinforcement. My recommendation, snuggle with the kids, have some tissues ready, even though you should trust Brad Bird, that'll all work out in the end. Talk about how people know about what's right and wrong. 1986, Short Circuit. You know how the book Ready Player One made the 80s cool? So Short Circuit, possibly the best loved robot movie of the 80s, and a comedy to boot. That should be doubly cool, right? Well, maybe. But surprisingly, Short Circuit holds up well. If we dispense with the whole robot is hit by lightning and comes along alive deus ex machina, Short Circuit actually touches on 2 relevant aspects of robotics. It's the physical design of the robot and the difficulties of natural language instruction. So my recommendation, gather up the kids, their friends, make a lot of popcorn, and be prepared to laugh. 1999, The Bicentennial Man. It's rated PG. It's a reasonable adaptation of Isaac Asimov's classic story of the same name. A robot who works for a nice family yearns to become a real person and a member of that family, taking about 200 years to make the transition. There's a nice subplot about ethics and robot rights. So this could be a double feature with The Iron Giant. Recommendation, grab a box of tissues. Okay, maybe a couple boxes of tissues. 1987's Batteries Not Included. It's rated PG, and it just has so many attractive elements. The robots are alien robots. They fly. They have robot babies. Yes, a movie about the cutest alien unmanned aerial vehicles with defectors ever. And of course, to be fair, this may be the only movie starring an alien UAV family. Remember, the alien robot in The Iron Giant arrives alone, and Eva and WALLE is made by humans. The plot, you ask? Okay, remember that fairy tale about the elves helping the nice shoemaker and his wife? Bingo. But there's nothing wrong with being yet another version of a familiar trope especially when there's lovable robots involved. My recommendation: pull a Jack Black and Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle and release your any girl or girl. Redo. Recommendation: pull a Jack Black and Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle and release your any girly girl. Watch the movie, then go fly some drones in the park with the kids. You might ask the kids to compare the advantages of flying versus being on the ground like WALL-E. 2005 Robots. This is about robots the way Sing is about animal husbandry. You could substitute animated animals who are being thwarted in reaching their dreams for the animated robots. But on the other hand, the robots are voiced by Robin Williams, Halle Berry, Ewan McGregor, Mel Brooks, and other A-listers. If you feel you must watch it for the animation and the voice talent, not for the plot or science. 2013 Cody the Robosapien, or Robosapien Rebooted. The movie's been released under different names, and no, that is so not a good sign. Christopher Booker famously declared there are only 7 basic plots, like comedy, tragedy, rags to riches, that sort of thing. Cody the Robosapien may be notable for an 8th basic plot: product placement. Robosapien is the diminutive humanoid robot toy developed by Mark Tilden, a real robot scientist for WALL-E. WALL-E commissioned the movie to help build sales. After all, look what the movies did for the Transformers franchise. The plot is so thin that even tweens should be a tad annoyed. The production values are just slightly better than a low-budget TV movie. My recommendation is pass. This movie exists only to sell the Robosapien robot. So those are my recommendations. WALL-E, Big Hero 6 are probably already on your list if you have kids, but you may have missed The Iron Giant or forgotten about Short Circuit and the Bicentennial Man. And you may have never seen Batteries Not Included, which was produced by Spielberg, but it's definitely worth seeing. Robots is just sort of there. There's nothing noteworthy. And Robosapiens is just dreadful, a last resort for very little kids. So that wraps that up. If you haven't already done so, please remember to subscribe to the Robotics Through Science Fiction newsletter and our YouTube channel so you won't miss a thing.